Alrighty, this is a test. I am going to Hi everybody, it's Chris from KM Designs, and I am testing out YouTube Live. So I had already started a few Itsy Bitsies that I had cut out from the templates that I got from that template shop. And I'm just going to stitch and chat if you would like to. And then we'll see how this works. I don't know if I have a 15-minute only live. We will find out and see. Oops. Get in here and hi kitty kitty. Meow. All right, I am this is a different strap. Instead of folding it in half, hi Karen. I actually left a gap, put some orange underneath it, and we're going to make a versus strap this way. I'm going to try to stitch very close. Let me see if I can turn this light off. You can't see it all. So glad you could join me, Karen. This, again, I will mention, this is just kind of a test. I've never done a YouTube Live before, and what better time than now? I am a very slow sewer. I hate seam ripping. Who doesn't? And if you can hear my kitty in the background, sounds like he's saying, ow. I'm going to have to hit this with an iron. I will cover it with Teflon sheet. I marked on the orange how far I wanted to fold over, and I can see the pink marks. I'll show you in a minute. You may not be able to see them. No, you can't see them, but I had marked along this edge line, and then I placed DST on the wrong side, and then I folded this edge over. Up close, I can see my mark. I'm not sure if you can. Hi, kitty. Shh. You can't jump up here. Go on. All right, and then I did a different strap. This is what I call my two-tone, where I folded the raw edges in on the blue, and there he is. I knew he would find his way up here somehow. Then this overlay, the second contrast, is just a raw edge laid over top of the seam and then stitched on. Yes, very much so. I find this, it's not always about how fast you get things done, but how good they look. Let me turn them off. And I do have a lighter somewhere. Maybe not out here. Anyways, I had chain stitched my zippers. This zipper tabs, that is. I'm not one that usually likes to use zipper tabs. I could never get them straight. Now I just use DST on both sides. right, and on this I've already top stitched the top and the bottoms on. So since I'm using waterproof canvas, the trick to getting DST to adhere, this one especially loves the camera. Sorry, I have to get used to looking at the comments. So I apologize because I thought they would pop up on my phone as well, which they don't. So anyways, the trick to getting DST to adhere to waterproof canvas, I can see him in the background over there, is to just kind of, I scratch it with my nail if I have any. And now it has been forever since I made one of these. So I'm securing the zipper right side up onto the right side of the waterproof canvas. This one, when you're looking at the zipper and it's pointing to the left, this would be for the back. So I will go ahead. Oh, didn't mark my centers. I kind of mix them up. My straps, that is. I just seen your comment again. You never know what might catch someone's eye. It could be something as simple as a strap. So since I have already secured the zipper to that end, let's just go ahead and place a mark for the center. Now I'm aligning everything right sides together. Now I don't remember in the pattern. Oops. See, I'm as bad as everyone else. We make the strap. We do the lining. Place. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm following my instructions because every time I make a pattern, I kind of do things a little different. Shows a different example. And we are going to baste. All right, now you're looking at the wrong side of the waterproof canvas. Okay. Then what I do is folding this in half. to stitch the sides. Just getting as close to the zipper tabs as possible. Okay, now when you're looking at the zipper to your left, bottom, you want the bottom wrong side up. I'm going to grab some DST. What do you want, Katie? Come on. All right, he decided he didn't want to stay in here. Now I tend to use a lot of DST in my patterns because I'm not supposed to pinch clips. I do not remember the force that is created in your joints when you pinch something, but it's an astronomical amount. And that's one of the tests that I'm not supposed to do. So DST helps me a lot. It holds on when I can't. Just move the zipper out of the way. Let's move it back. All right, now I will top stitch. Now I start my top stitch at the zipper tab. And normally I leave long thread tails pulled to the back side, but tonight I'm cheating and back stitching. Alrighty. One side all top stitched. Now let's repeat that process. Back down the stitch length. And now I think the kitty wants back in. Just trimming a few loose strings. All right, now make sure I throw my DST backing away. I have one cat that always eats it. And I found my lighter. I'm just singeing my threads. All right. Next, I'm just aligning my ends. Oh, if you're going to put your bow on after you have top stitched your top, but before you stitch the entire and before I attach it, I do need to trim it. I just trimmed a little because the back was showing through. Put a piece of stabilizer, the back of the rivet, and then let me add my setter to the side. Okay, I've set my rivet. Now the thing about this is everything should line up, but sometimes it may not. If you find that is the case, just align your center points as much as possible. I know the pattern says to use a 1/8 inch seam allowance. You can increase that so that you have a nice top stitched edge, and then you can trim if needed. You can also use Fabri-Tac glue to align your edges. If you are batch sewing, that may be a good thing to do because you could literally apply your glue, put a couple clips. We need the strap connector, and instead of inserting it onto the outside, I'm actually going to slip it in between the layers. And oop, I pulled it out too much. Now, if you can hear that noise, that almost sounds like there's too much pressure on the foot, but that's not it. It's this vinyl, and this machine has a micro lift on it. I have lifted it. When you hear that, you can slow down and look at your stitches, because once in a while, you'll hear that noise when your feed dogs are not pulling your vinyl through properly. So just check your stitches, go slow. You can, if it's not feeding all the way. He has now figured out how to open the door. Yes. Sorry about that. If the feed dogs are not pulling it through all the way, you can increase your stitch length to compensate for that. He's going to do it again. And that sounds horrible, but and what I'm trying to do right now is just make sure that my top folds line up. Okay, and this, we're going to punch a hole, place rivet, and we will put a swivel. And I can hear my hubby's TV, so let me shut that before YouTube has a thing with the copyright. All right, I am just placing the strap like that. And I'm going to bend that over, and I will place the rivet on this as well. No, you open the door. Well, it is. That's just how it is. Now that I have one hole punched, then I will mark again. Punch. And I'll use my awl to get everything lined up. So that I can make one last mark. Okay. And it would help if I had the right color. Here we go. not silver, gunmetal. There is one. Let me get that one. All right, one done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to crease this waterproof canvas. This is a bone folding tool. And one itsy bitsy done. All right, we have a blue one done. Let's move on. I get the end back on my So is anyone else working on anything tonight? Or are you just watching videos? I tend to collect things up here as I'm sewing. That's why I usually do not sew while I'm assembling. I like to get up and down from my chair. All right, I'm just going to stitch the top. So even though I have this secured with DST with these curves, you may get a little stretching, which is what has happened. And then I am just going to try to reflatten this. Now, what if this happens to you? It may be wise to take a little bit of woven and, excuse me, and I do not like the way that's stretched. So let's put that one aside. It's going to be a purple leopard, and I was going to so a nice big, either a satchel or some type of tote. Yeah, and that's, I mean, you have to do what works for you. There are a lot of times when I will draw my seam allowance when I'm stitching on curves and corners, and I just utilize the pattern piece and just align and utilize the pattern piece to help me out. So Curves can be tricky. The stretch is what happened with this. So let's see if I can just loosen it back up. I think what this one, because it's so stretchy, that if I can get it opened up enough to tie in the center on the back side, and the main part. Well, that sounds awesome. Just something to put it all in. So when he gets creative, he has everything all together. Or me, when we travel or have to go somewhere or go out of town and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, I take my notebook and either jot down some notes or some ideas that I have, ideas that float around in my head and cloud up my brain. And sometimes you just have to put it on paper. Because I try to, once I get started on one design, I try to stay with that one design. It doesn't always work that way. There we go. So what I did was I pulled the stitches free to the center point. And black on black is hard to see. So I'm just tying a knot. Now I'm hoping to go slow enough. I'm going to start at the other top edge and come right to the center. Hopefully this works. I think it did. Looks good. Looks much better. So had that not worked, I would have set it off to the side, seam ripped it another time, and attached some woven. Okay, now that I have the top, I'm looking for my bow. We just did a black bow. Yes, this one is going to be a dark one. Stabilizer. And let's set this rivet. So at least I now know that I don't shut off after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So that's awesome. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. So there's the bow. You don't have to put the bows on them. All right, let's stitch this bottom. And let's start at the curve. So again, normally I leave long thread tails pulled to the back, tie them off. Tonight I'm not doing it that way. start it in the center. And it did stretch a little again, so I'm just going to release the DST and straighten that all out. Normally my designs I'm all about function. Though every once in a while you have to create something fun. This little bikini pouch. I love pockets. I will put as many as I need into a pattern, and that way then you can eliminate. But if you don't have them in a pattern, you can't make them. Okay, that's done. Zipper, pull to the left. Now we did it again. Let's mark the center. All right, now this one, I want to utilize some tan. So I am thinking that I want to put one strap connector on the back side and one on the front side. Oh, and I'm not exact on my zippers either. That didn't stick. Have you ever, Karen, have you ever seen my, the Free Senza pattern that I have on my website? It's a nice big tote, but could easily be made in canvas, could easily be made masculine. I'm looking to see if this is where I want my strap connectors, since this is normally a wristlet. I don't want the out on the sides for this one. They call them dog ears. Okay. So we want the back first. This time I'm doing it different, as you can see. I'm not stitching the interior together. I want to see what this is going to look like with that strap connector there. Oops. See, even I make mistakes. And right now I'm using my scissors because I don't know where my seam ripper is. Well, I definitely put that strap connector on there wrong. Easy mistake. Enough to where I shouldn't have made it. Oh well. Now, if I did it wrong again. Nope, I didn't. I think I like the placement. Strap connector. Since we didn't stitch this like the last one, let's go ahead and create that crease. Okay, let's base that. Before I stitch the front on, I will stitch the sides. Sorry, everyone. I'm not very chatty tonight. I guess I'm just concentrating on what I'm doing. I know my string isn't wanting to cut. Keep all my DST ends and accounted for. I have another gray kitty that's floating around here somewhere. And I almost did this. That's why I don't talk. Almost put it on the wrong way. And yes, this time I didn't apply it with DST, but I should. Top stitch. I'm losing clips everywhere. Again, clipping the top. Now I'll show you what I mean by gluing. I don't use as much of this stuff as I used to. Let's just take those off for a minute. I am pulling the top away from the body. And I'm gluing it. Not a lot, just enough to secure it. And another area that tends to, I didn't check on the blue one, is back here on the butt portion. Sometimes your machine will catch those little tails. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue there as well. Hopefully that takes care of it. Let's set this one aside. Okay, next one. We have an orange and black kind of zebra striped. Now I could have also, oops, let's put the cap on this. You probably know where it is before I do. Where did I set that cap? It just oozing out. I always lose the cap to my fabric glue. Okay, now that we have glue all over our fingers, this one, I want to show you. I added some zipper detail to the top edge on this Itsy Bitsy. So, and I also then added the bow. So let's stitch. Here we go. There, I only have certain hardware in rose gold, and I do not have a swivel that fits the strap. So I'm just going to be putting the connector on. I will not be securing the strap until I get some other hardware. Okay, I did stitch. I had a brain freeze for a moment. I couldn't remember if I stitched the back of the bikini on that one. Trying to keep my strings all in one spot. Now, another thing I did not do with these is I did not edge paint the pieces. You can edge paint so you don't see the vinyl edges. I didn't do that this time. This was testing the new templates. Look it, I ran out of bobbin thread. Do I have another one spun? Oh, I don't, but I have another black. So bobbin roulette roll 1 today. It usually does because I always forget to check it. Making me wonder if this one's going to stretch as well. I think as many times as I've had to cut with the DST backing already removed, cutting my centers. You think I would remember? Anyone have any questions? Maybe not related to the Itsy Bitsy, but maybe something that I could possibly answer while I'm sewing this. Hi, Sonia. Putting myself back out here. I have always been trying to get on and go live, and my life is always chaotic and I always have hiccups, and what I plan usually never can come to fruition, or fruition, I should say. I think it's better if I just wing it. Oh, wait a second. I need on this side. It's been a long weekend. And tomorrow's Monday. So my crazy days, and this did not stick. There we go. Mondays are always my crazy days. It's my phone day, catch up on phone calls, and do paperwork. Like, it's bad enough we don't like Mondays as it is. And I had to go throw that into the mix. Okay, so somebody had asked, I'm using my Juki TL18 QVP, or the Juki Haruka. It is considered a semi-industrial. It's actually sitting on the cabinet that I have my vintage in. The vintage that I started, the vintage that I was using while making quilts, and then definitely was perfect for when I started handbags. Zipper. Let's see, how long have I have, I think I've had this 2 years. Now. All right, for some reason, my zipper, this is why I use DST, because when you baste onto your zipper, sometimes you don't always get as close as you need to for that top stitching, to make sure you don't have that wavy zipper. So when you put DST in your seam allowance, you can increase, or you can fold it over and then top stitch. Make sure that you're close enough. Okay, I'm just aligning the center of the zipper. This one wants to not cooperate. And this is a great little way to do a liner. But for me, getting this last little bit on the end of this one is not letting me. Hopefully I got it. I couldn't get it in next to the zipper tab. So let me cinch some of my strings. So my little YouTube test has worked out perfect. Sorry, I am not a chatty Cathy tonight. That's what I call my hubby. But at least I know now I can come on here and do a video for longer than 15 minutes because I've been actually on here for over an hour. Okay. And couple more straight ends. Oops. With as many clips as I drop, I'm surprised my cats didn't play with them more, because they're all over my floor. Okay. Now, my little right here is a little bigger than good. I'm glad you said that, because I normally, in the beginning when I started doing this, my setup wasn't good enough, so I would do side angles, only because I don't really like looking at the camera. But I also have learned that it feels like I'm not as personable when I'm not looking at the camera. But I have this thing where when I'm looking at the camera, like right now, I am looking at myself in the eyes. You will see me roll my eyes. I only do that because I don't want to look at myself. And I need to just get over it. And there we go with the squeaky. And I have this adjusted so it is as high as the micro lift will go, and it's still making everything squeak. And I have noticed that I tend to hold my breath when I'm sewing. So I noticed in my video, I was like, gosh, I take a lot of deep breaths. And then so the next time I did a video, I was more aware. And it's not that I take a deep breath. It's I hold my breath and then I exhale like it's sounds like a relief, or I don't know. It's something that I do, and it has nothing. Don't do that again. I'm on my zipper. There we go. This little zipper. I was on this end. Yes, top stitching. Not perfect, but it will do. And you can see on this one, I will have to trim just a little bit. Not bad. But otherwise, it looks okay. It's kind of cute. And let's get back to this one. I want to hook the strap on it. I think a chain is going to be too heavy, but you don't know until you try it. And if I like the strap, then I can always find something else. Yeah, we got some distortion going on this one. We just put a few extra clips. I think this one would have benefited if I would have added some woven to it. And I know for the next time. Just a little bit bigger seam allowance on this one. I think I'm going to have to trim. So, even though, let's see if we can trim this. It'll probably be way better using my rotary cutter. I'll just go back. Oh yeah, definitely. This one may also need to be edge coated. So let's open this up. Let's go ahead and crease this. I know it's longer than what it needs to be, but you get the idea. It is a cute little crossbody. Can you still see it? So this is one with a strap. I just made a second strap connector. This one has a two-toned strap. I know there's so many possibilities. And this one has the zipper accent. Now, I could have done it on the back as well. I just wasn't sure how it was going to look. And it is free. So it kind of hangs over the little rivet there. And this one will have, and I already dropped the strap. That's another reason why I don't usually like to assemble while I'm at my machine, is because I lose everything on the floor. And I have a grabber. Sorry, I had to get, this one has, what I did is I used the strap pattern in the pattern. On the back, I marked the center point. And then what I did is I marked a 1/4 inch on each side. And then I laid this 1/2 inch piece of orange. And then I drew an 1/8 of an inch line on the orange and then folded the zebra striped over top. So basically these edges here are raw. And like I said, I have to get hardware. I think I have 1 inch and this is 3/4. I need to get myself some 3/4 inch. I need to get myself some 3/4 inch swivels for this. I have all kinds of hardware, but rose gold, I don't have much. I just have the D-rings, of course, rivets, zippers, and I believe I have 1 inch swivels. So I'm going to just keep trying. I have, as I go through these were cut from the template shop. I'm also going to try to work on SVGs, but there always seems to be a hiccup in the conversion for the Cricut. So I had somebody test it. I still had another hiccup where it didn't open. I don't get it. I haven't made an SVG since the Bender 2.0 pattern, and that's only available on Etsy. The website, I also have to figure out how to do zip files. I just need to know that I have a little bit of extra time and I'm not designing. I will take a look at that. So that way then I can add the pattern. I can do this, zip the SVGs. And I think it's A4 for other countries, paper size. And then I haven't yet figured out anything about the projectors, but I am working on it. When things are calm at home, then I can do more research and then do more things that I don't normally do. So I am working on things behind the scenes. I'm taking a little bit of time off to, like this, test YouTube, make sure my videos are, I can do longer than 15 minutes. I so appreciate everyone that popped in to say hello. And hopefully that I can get some things on the schedule and make this a continuous, maybe a bi-weekly thing. And we'll go from there. Is what I know, I want to be able to teach you. So thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will just keep trying to put them out there.